Have you ever promised yourself, this is the last time? The last time you text them, the last time you forgive them, the last time you go back. And yet, somehow, you always do. If that sounds familiar, this video might change the way you see your relationships forever. One of the most confusing parts about toxic relationships is that going back doesn't feel like a decision. It feels automatic, almost like something inside you takes control, and suddenly all the pain, all the reasons you left, don't feel as strong anymore. Instead, you remember the good moments, the way they looked at you, the way they held you, the rare times when everything felt perfect. And in those moments, your brain tells you a story. Maybe it wasn't that bad. Maybe this time will be different. But here's the truth most people don't want to hear. You're not going back because things changed. You're going back because something inside you still hasn't. Human beings don't just seek happiness. They seek what feels familiar, even if that familiarity is painful. Even if it hurts your confidence, your peace, your mental health. If you've spent years getting used to a certain kind of emotional experience, your brain starts to associate it with normal. So when you meet someone calm, stable, predictable, it doesn't feel exciting. It feels strange, almost uncomfortable. But when someone is inconsistent, when they pull you in and push you away, your system recognizes it instantly. And that recognition feels like connection. But it's not connection, it's conditioning. Most toxic patterns don't start in your current relationship. They start much earlier, in the way you learned love as a child. Maybe love was something you had to earn. Maybe attention wasn't always there. Maybe you had to be good enough to receive affection. Or maybe love came with tension, with unpredictability, with emotional distance. And without realizing it, you adapted. You learned how to chase, how to wait, how to overthink, how to hold on, even when it hurts. So now, as an adult, when someone treats you in a way that mirrors that old experience, it doesn't feel wrong. It feels familiar. And your brain says, this is what love looks like. A lot of people say, but I feel such a strong connection with them. Let's talk about that connection, that intensity, that obsession, that constant thinking, that emotional high followed by a crash. That's often called chemistry. But in many cases, it's not chemistry. It's anxiety. It's your nervous system being activated because you don't know where you stand. You don't know if they'll stay. You don't know if you're enough. And that uncertainty creates a powerful emotional reaction. But love, real love, doesn't feel like a constant question. It feels like an answer. Toxic relationships are incredibly addictive, not because they are fulfilling, but because they are inconsistent. You get small moments of affection, small doses of attention, just enough to keep you emotionally invested. And then, it disappears. And when it disappears, you don't feel calm. You feel withdrawal. You feel the urge to fix things, to reach out, to reconnect. And when you finally get a response, it feels like relief, like a reward. And that cycle, reward, loss, craving, reward, keeps repeating. This is the same mechanism that exists in addiction, which is why leaving feels so hard. Another reason you keep going back is hope. Not hope for who they are, but hope for who they could be. You remember the good version of them, the version that made you feel special, the version that showed up, sometimes. And you think, if I just try a little more, if I just understand them better, if I just don't mess it up, maybe that version will stay. But here's the reality. Consistency shows truth. Inconsistency creates illusion. You're not in love with who they are. You're attached to who they could be. At the core of this pattern, there is often a deeper belief, a quiet voice that says, I have to earn love. I have to prove myself. I have to fight to be chosen. So when someone gives you love easily, it doesn't feel valuable. But when someone makes you work for it, it feels meaningful. Because it confirms the story you've been telling yourself for years. And until that story changes, the pattern will repeat. Breaking this cycle is not easy. Because you're not just letting go of a person, you're letting go of a pattern that feels like home. But here's where it starts. You begin to notice. You notice how your body feels around them. Not just the highs, but the anxiety. You notice the confusion, the overthinking, the emotional instability. And instead of calling it love, you call it what it is, a pattern that hurts you. Then, you do something different. You choose discomfort. Not the discomfort of chaos, but the discomfort of peace. of stability, of calm. Because at first, healthy love will feel unfamiliar, but over time, it will feel safe. The next time you feel pulled back into something that once hurt you, pause. Take a breath and ask yourself honestly, am I choosing this person or am I choosing a feeling I've known my whole life? Because healing doesn't happen when you find someone new. It happens when you stop going back to what breaks you and start choosing what builds you. In the next episode, we're going to talk about something just as important: why good people suffer in relationships. Why the ones who love deeply, who give the most, who care the most, are often the ones who get hurt the most. If you've ever felt like that, you don't want to miss it.